Hey everyone, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got BMW's brand new 2020 235i Gran Coupe. And this is a sound system review and little night drive with the base 10-speaker 205-watt audio system. Now, this is kind of cool because almost all BMWs we get come with the optional upgraded Harman Kardon or sometimes even the top-level Bowers & Wilkins sound system. So it's cool to get to be able to review a base system. So this is going to be an in-depth review of the sound system. We're going to take a look at all the sound settings, how the system works, listen to some sample tracks, and I'll give you my opinion at the end. So before we get started, let's hop out and take a quick look at this vehicle. So this is BMW's entry-level sedan, although technically this is the higher trim. They make the 228i with turbocharged inline 4, and then this M235i with another turbocharged inline 4, but making 301 horsepower compared to all-wheel drive. It's definitely a quirky little car. Doesn't really share the same DNA as the older and still existing 2 Series Coupe and convertible, but if you guys want to see more on the car, check out our full review, which will be available in the description. So always do all these sound system tests with a USB stick with uncompressed WAV audio files plugged directly into the sound system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system experience you can get on YouTube. We always do these sound system tests with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. So you can see we don't have a lot here with the bass system. You just have treble, bass, and left, right, front, rear, balance, and fader. And that's it. So let's sample those here. So not a whole lot of adjustment, but you do get a pretty big difference when those are changed. In terms of how to control the audio in the 2 Series, you've got a nice volume knob here with good detents, as well as volume buttons on the steering wheel. Then for changing track, you can either do that by selecting the track here on the touchscreen, using the center rotary knob to select the track, using these track select buttons here, or these on the steering wheel, which you can go back and forth here, or actually use this rotary knob and select different songs on the dash. So before we get on the road, let's go around and count speaker grills. So we've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. I don't think that's one there. How about the trunk? Doesn't sound like there's anything back here. So, what's likely the case is some of these speaker grills probably have 2 speakers behind them. Am I missing any? All right. Let's start it up, get on the road. This does come with the optional M Sport exhaust, so we'll sample that a bit as we get out on the road as well. Does sound pretty good. However, these tires are loud, so you'll notice that as well. as we get up to speed here, I'll let you hear what the car sounds like at 70 miles per hour. So like I said, not really any wind noise. The engine quiets right down as well at speed. We're only at 2,000 RPM here at 70, but you do get a good amount of road noise from these tires. In terms of audio inputs for the 2 Series Gran Coupe, you get standard Sirius XM, FM, AM, Bluetooth audio, USB, both USB-A and USB Type-C, and Apple CarPlay support. So what are you missing? You're missing Android Auto support, CD, and 3.5mm type auxiliary input. 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. Not too big of a surprise to not see the CD player and the auxiliary input, but it is a shame to see Android Auto still excluded from BMWs. That would be a big selling point miss for me buying a new Beamer. Alright, let's listen to a few last tracks. Now this track here, for those of you who watch the channel regularly, know that it can really bring some of the audio systems down to their knees. So let's see how the base BMW system handles it. As you can see, the volume's almost all the way up already. Not a whole lot of power from this system. So after listening to a lot of different tracks with the bass audio system here in the 235i, at first I was pretty turned off. At first I was like, ooh, yeah, this system, not very good. It's definitely going to be a tough one to review. But then, you know, I listened to it for a while. You always got to try out lots of different kinds of music and really think about how it sounds and sort of analyze it, let it sit for a while. And the system really isn't that bad. But what it's really a clear case of is a system just being a lot simpler and leaving out the top and the low parts of the dynamic range. So it actually sounds pretty good for the middle sort of frequencies. If you listen here, the center sounds just as good as an upper level audio system, but you're really missing the high highs and the low lows. So it's clearly lacking a subwoofer. You're not getting any of that deep thumping bass, even with more bass-heavy songs. And I do need to get a few more bass-heavy songs in the sound system mix here to sort of show you guys that. And you're not getting those super crisp highs as well, which you can really notice in this song. You're not really hearing the satisfying crispness in this guitar. It's just kind of there. And that's sort of a good way to look at this audio system in general, is not getting the Harman Kardon system, just sticking with this base BMW 10-speaker audio system. It's a good system for people who just want a radio, but don't really care about truly listening to good quality music. They don't really, having that super clean, satisfying experience isn't super important to them. They just want a radio that works. And that's totally fine. Some people really don't care about that all very much. But someone like myself, I would absolutely be spending a few extra $1,000s in a new vehicle to get one of the best, if not the best, audio systems. And Harman Kardons and BMWs nearly always deliver good sound. So if you care about listening to music regularly, especially high quality audio, something aside from just Sirius XM, that sort of deal, definitely splurge for that upper level system. But the bass sound quality is not bad, it's just simple. A lot of different sounds are fighting for a little bit of real estate in those speakers, and it can only do so much. So I had to give a rating for the sound system here in the M235i, the bass system. I'd give it probably a 5.5 to 6. And the reason it gets a kind of an extra point there is just because BMW's audio system and radio and infotainment works so gosh darn well. You've got this excellent working center rotary knob here, so you can control things without even really taking your eyes off the road. If I wanted to switch to 3 or 4 tracks up in my playlist here, it just takes a quick glance to make sure I'm where I want to be, and then click, and I'd be done. Or you can reach right up and touch it. It takes a little more time off the road, but if I'm just sitting there stopped, very easy to do. So BMW definitely gets bonus points for having such an awesome to use infotainment system. Subjective rating, yes, in terms of like in this class, in the entry luxury class, I'd say it's about a 4.5 or a 5. I mean, when this car costs $50,000, and for that money you can get some seriously good sound systems. So, yeah, that's right about where I'd put it. But anyway, I hope you guys were able to get a good example of the audio system here in the entry-level BMW, the 2 Series. If you like this video, check out the full review on the 2 Series, check out some of our other videos, hit that subscribe button, it helps us out a bunch, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor. Drive on.